One of the hardest parts of moving on after a breakup, or really any close relationship, is learning how to live with the silence that follows. That emptiness, it feels unbearable. But here's the truth. When you deeply connect with someone, you carve out a space inside yourself for them. And when they leave, that space remains, aching, echoing. It's not your fault. It's just how love works. We open ourselves. We give. We intertwine our identities. And when it ends, we're left with a hollow echo of what once was. But here's what most people don't realize. That emptiness, it's not shaped like them. It's shaped like you. You might say, but it was them I lost. No, it was the version of them you created, the way you saw them, the way your heart elevated them. That experience came through you, your eyes, your mind, your soul. That whole is your own reflection. Think of it this way. Imagine a light shining through a triangle-shaped filter. The shape that appears as a triangle, but it's the filter that creates it. That's how your love projected. That space, that pain, is your own light, bent by how you loved. When I went through my breakup, I had to sit down and face that truth. The pain wasn't just about her being gone. It was also about how far I had drifted from myself. I'd neglected my own love. I was missing me. And once I realized that, I began the slow return. Many people say they don't know how to love themselves, but I think they do. It's just buried. Loving yourself means doing for yourself what you would do for someone you care about. If you'd listen to your mother's words with patience, start listening to your own thoughts. If you'd forgive a friend for struggling, stop criticizing yourself for hurting. If you believe in your siblings' potential, start believing in your own. Even the act of seeking help or wisdom is an act of love. It means you care enough to grow. So no, you're not clueless. You're just rediscovering. When I looked at my own pain, I saw how much of my life had revolved around that relationship. Every day after work, I go straight to her place. I stopped spending time with family. I stopped playing guitar. I didn't fish. I didn't create content. My joy faded. So I started to take it back, one piece at a time. First, I created again. Then I picked up the guitar. I played a little piano. I went fishing. I had an amazing hunting season. Piece by piece, I was rebuilding me. So I started returning to myself through the things I love. And yes, there were still moments when my mind wandered back, when memories pulled me down old paths. That's normal. That's human. You're going to feel things. You're going to revisit the past. But here's the key. You can't live there. Reflecting on the past is necessary. It's how we process and grow. But staying stuck in it, that only deepens the wound. So don't shame yourself for thinking about them. Don't beat yourself up for missing what was. Falling into those mental traps doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Our minds, they're both our greatest power and our deepest vulnerability. Even now, though I've healed and I'm still healing, because healing is never truly over, I still have those thoughts. The difference is, I don't let them run the show anymore. I've learned how to pull myself out. I shift my energy. I keep doing the things that light me up. And here's the wild part. When you pour enough time and love into yourself, something profound happens. You start to overflow. I've spent so much energy rebuilding myself that now it's hard to stop. It's hard to open myself up to someone new, not because I'm broken, but because I've become so devoted to my own journey. Not in a selfish way. I'm not cold. I'm not bitter. I just know what it took to get here. I know how far I strayed from myself. And now, to love someone else, that person would have to really meet me, not just on the surface, but meet me where I am, fully, deeply, honestly. Right now, I'm in a committed relationship with me, and to pull me away from that, someone would have to be extraordinary. It's not arrogance, it's clarity. It's the difference between who I used to be, someone who gave without boundaries, and who I am now, someone who invests where it truly matters. I'm not saying the past was a waste. It wasn't. I have beautiful memories, meaningful experiences, and lessons I'll carry forever. But now, I've redirected all that energy I once gave away, and I've planted it into my own life, and it's blooming. For the first time, I feel free. I'm living the life I used to only dream about. And honestly, that's made it harder to find love again, not because love doesn't exist, but because I'm not desperate for it. I'm no longer looking for someone to complete me. Now I'm just looking for someone who aligns. The deeper I got into myself, the more I tuned into energy, my own and others. And when you're that tapped in, you start reading people like books, instantly. You can feel their truth or their performance before they even say much. That doesn't mean I judge them. I still give people space to show who they are. I'm not asking them to prove anything to me, but I do want to see if we're aligned, if we could truly connect. Still, that drive, the motivation to actively seek out relationships or connection, is just not present in me right now, and that's okay. I'm human. I've fed the emptiness inside me. It's not hollow anymore, it's whole, and to open it again, that would take something real. So if you're going through a breakup, here's something simple and real. Start moving your body. Go for walks. Go to the gym. Start sweating the grief out of your system. Please, for the love of whatever you believe in, stop drowning yourself in sad music. If you need to cry once a week, fine, do it. Let it out. But then, you have to move forward. That music, that nostalgia, those perfectly crafted heartbreak posts, they're not healing you. They're feeding the ache. They're designed to keep the void alive. I saw one post once. It said, "We used to shower together. How did we break up?" I remember thinking, if I'd seen that 3 weeks earlier, it would have sent me spiraling back months in my healing. So get off social media for a while. Unfollow, mute, delete, whatever you need. Don't let pictures, memories, or curated heartbreak loops keep you hostage. Yes, those memories are yours. They matter. But don't hold on to them in a way that keeps you stuck. Don't desire something that no longer exists, or worse, maybe never even truly existed the way you believed. Honor the experience. Accept what it was. Forget the teacher. Remember the lesson. Carry that with you as you evolve. And please, avoid the things that make the pain worse. Step away from what expands the hole instead of healing it. Start investing in things that rebuild you. Reconnect with growth. For me, it was content creation. I'd done it before. I had the experience. I had the dream. Even at my lowest, I still saw that vision so clearly. I knew if I put in the work, something would eventually bloom. And I was right. But the actions that rebuild you, they won't feel good right away. Trust me, if you go back and look at my earliest videos, you'll see it. You'll see the exhaustion in my eyes, the emptiness. That was during the relationship. And here's the truth. My ex didn't like me making content. She hated the attention it brought, especially from women. But that passion, that part of me, it mattered. And it took losing so much to realize I had to reclaim it. When I started this new YouTube journey, I tried to be careful not to expose the relationship issues online. I still wanted to protect her, even as we were falling apart. So I'd talk about my struggles, and then say she was the light pulling me out of the void. And in some ways, that was true. But what I wasn't saying out loud was that a lot of the pain I was going through came from that very relationship, and I own that. I take full responsibility for my part in it. But here's the point, man. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you, not for anyone else, not to please others. This is your healing, your return to yourself. And most people, they don't even know who they really are. That's why they're terrified to sit alone in a room with their own mind. They're strangers to themselves. So do it. Lock yourself in that room. Meet yourself. Learn what makes you happy. And if you don't know yet, try things. Try going to the gym for 3 weeks. Try picking up a guitar. Try hiking or painting or planting something. You never know which moment will wake you up. A few months ago, I was stuck until one random afternoon, I climbed a tree, and suddenly something shifted. My mind cleared, so my direction returned. The inspiration is out there, but the work, it has to come from you. No one's coming to save you. Not me, not your friends, not some future relationship. I'll do my best to share what I've learned, but this journey belongs to you, and don't try to fill the void with substances, distractions, or another person. That's not healing, that's numbing. And when those things fade, they'll leave behind an even bigger emptiness. I know I'm rambling, but this matters, because I've seen how quickly a life can transform when you finally invest in yourself. If you want proof, go look at my first few videos. You'll see it. The difference in my energy, my eyes, my voice. That's the result of reclaiming my life. So ask yourself, what did I do for me today? Sure, brushing your teeth, eating, hygiene, those are basics. But what about your soul? Maybe you needed peace, so you went for a walk alone. Maybe you wrote a song, made a video, journaled, cooked something new, or said no to a draining obligation. That counts. When was the last time you stepped back from the noise and asked yourself, what do I need? What do I want to do today? Just for me? Maybe that means being with people. Maybe it means solitude. But it must come from you, not from social obligation, not from guilt, from truth. And here's the most important part. Don't rush the process. Healing is not linear. It's not a countdown. And it doesn't happen in one perfect moment. Just like you didn't grow in one day, you won't heal in one either. Some days will suck. Some days will feel pointless. But over time, the fog lifts, the weight softens, the light returns. Stay with the journey. Be patient with your becoming. And above all, love yourself. You're going to be okay. I promise.